Get back onto the Collingwood game. And I suppose the early parts, how was the coach's box? You're 4 goals down and it appeared that the West Coast were off to an absolute flyer. Were you happy to sit with what you'd started with as far as structure, or was it a bit of a magnet moving around the board?
We had a discussion. Nathan instigated it, and the view was that the 4 goals were from turnovers. Probably would be a little bit cute with the ball. You know, obviously the pressure was pretty hot, and maybe we were looking for maybe a perfect option. Turned the ball over and they got goals, and so it was nothing structural. We thought the contesting was pretty good, we thought the effort was pretty good, we thought the centre square bounce was okay, etc, etc, but it was just a matter of getting that right. And I think Nathan has said publicly that the leaders were able to correct that. They were able to correct that midstream. 10-15 minutes into the first quarter, we scored the next 2 or 3 goals and running 8 points down at quarter time.
Yep. So the Eagles get a really good start. Tell us about the composure of the box when Andrew Cracker looks like he's kicked the goal to get you back in it, and all of a sudden, before it's bounced, it's taken away.
Yeah, there wasn't much said. A few of the guys said, I think they're going to turn this over. So it was just more about discussion. But I must admit, all the guys in the box thought, we've got no control of that. We didn't think it was right to change because it wasn't conclusive. But anyway, that's the way it goes. So
that was the opinion, that you think it was inconclusive, so you were surprised when they said...
Yeah, because obviously they paid a goal, and we're under the thought that it has to be really conclusive to change. So
you didn't make any comments at all when it was changed?
Nothing you can do.
Pretty quiet.
Move on, mate. No.
We will move on.
I tell you, I'm like a church mouse, mate.
One thing I did like was reverting to the original role for Heathshaw. Get him back in the back line, let him do what he does best, and, you know, he cut off some forward forays, he chimed in when he needed to, he provided that good run and rebound, and I reckon it just put him back in his natural habitat.
Yeah, I think there's a few points that Heath has played well on the wing for us as well, and I think he's such a creative player. He can play on different types of players down back, so I think there's quite a few strings to his bow, and that he started to get back to his run and carry, but I think we were more pleased with his defensive action, the fact that he was able to put some pressure close in space, help his mates, and I think that's the most pleasing thing.
That's the thing, he isn't a very aggressive runner, whether it's offensively or defensively. We saw a couple of occasions there, and here's another one. He sort of almost runs himself into trouble, but has the composure to get out. But he's prepared to leave his man and aggressively run to a one-on-one where he can be the third-up jumper. He does that extremely well.
Yeah, I think most of the good sides in the competition, you have a look at Geelong over the years, have done that very well. Hawthorn do that players will leave their opponent to actually support their teammate, and there's a bit of having that team defence mentality.
Absolutely. Now, Darren Jolly, there's been plenty of talk in the lead-up to the game how he's going to contend with, obviously, the All-Australian ruckman, a ruck combination. He didn't have massive numbers. I think he had 24 hit-outs, but there's a way he went about it. He made sure that he competed really well, cut the run and jump off, especially from Nat Nui, but also his strength to get in front of Cox from the boundary throw-ins and the ball-ups around the ground. He got the body in front and just made it really hard for the probably more athletic guys to jump.
I think that's the thing with Darren. I think through experience, but obviously his strength as well. But his experience, be able to have different measures or different tricks for each player. So, you know, the way he plays Nat Nui is going to be different the way he plays Cox, different the way he plays Jacobs, different the way he plays Roughhead. So, I think he's got all that experience. He's got some tricks in his kit bag that he does.
Can he ruck for 100% of the game? He's going. I mean, if Dawes doesn't come up this week, it's a huge challenge for Jolly to
It is a huge challenge. Yeah, we haven't finalised our thought. Hopefully, Chris will be able to come up, and that's our thought process at the moment. You would think he would need a break at some stage.
What's plan B then? If Dawes doesn't come up, what's plan B?
Because he can ruck 90-92%. What did we do last time? Nick Maxwell was the other one last time.
So he's gone too.
Who's the sacrificial lamb this time?
The other option is an option of that, and we've got to work out who that may be, or whether it's a Cameron Wood who can come in and give him support and ruck for 30-40% and go forward. So that's our...
Tyson Goldsack, he's been another one of those valuable players come in and played a role. Could he do that?
I suppose you're looking for a player with some height, so whether it's him or...
Jackson Payne, if he comes in as a straight swap for Dawes.
Whether it's a Cloak, which is probably unlikely.
Can you... I'll probably ask Kingy. Can you see a Payne or a Wood coming in if Dawes goes out?
I think Payne's the man. I mean, there's not a lot to choose from at the moment. I know you've got a few injuries down there and there's a few concerns with who you bring in, but I think Payne showed a little bit. 3 weeks ago, he was in that side. He was okay.
They're not going to bring Wood in, King. They're not going to bring
too big a change.
A dead set ruckman in for a small ruck roll. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, his form hasn't been great, let's be honest. He's not the most popular Collingwood player down there, Jace. I wouldn't have thought. Don't answer that, Rocket, please. Ben Hart's done an amazing job, I think, with your back six in the last short term. Ben Reade was fantastic on the weekend. We'll have a look at some of his vision and just have a look at how he was able to intercept Mark. You can see him down the bottom of screen here. We'll roll as we can, just down here. Roll this vision here. You can just see his ability to get off his man and keep both in the vision just at the back there. You can see him just separating now. Look at that there. His ability, Lynchy, to keep his eyes on his opponent at that stage is Kennedy and roll that vision. And the ball, I think, has been the key to his game. 6 intercept marks for the weekend. Doesn't mark that one, but does enough to create a spoil or a crumb and then engage his fellow teammates to come in. Same sort of thing here. You can see down the back here, just... You can see his ability again to negate that lead and then get back to the ball first, put himself in a position where he can impact. Draws a free kick there just through positioning. Terrific stuff. And same thing again. And they're all very similar, these clips. Just pause it there. You can see just that match up there. His ability to know when to drop back off, that he's not usable, and that ball's just being kicked, as you can see there. Just left the boot, so he drops off at the absolute... perfect timing. His timing was impeccable as a defender to leave and get back and intercept Mark, as we said. I just thought that he was probably the form player on the night for me. Have a look here. And I thought this was indicative of the night. This is Nick Natanui versus Ben Reade. Ball coming round the wing here. His ability to stay controlled, have Nick well and truly covered there, got him in front, assesses the situation, on the play at all times. Ball comes in, bang, first to react and get across and mark that ball. I just thought his defending was amazing. And then when the body contact had to be made, that's him down here in the square. Getting his opponent again, Kennedy. He's looking to create a block to release, I think that's Darling to come through here, who was Tuvi's opponent. Tuvi gets in front of Darling, bang, block, and then he rolls across. That's great team defence. Yeah. His ability to get across there and help his fellow defenders out. I thought that was nearly the win of the night for Collingwood.
Yeah, I think you find good. I think you find good defenders can do that. You know, they've got that innate ability when to drop off or when to be with their man. You have a look at Ted Richards this year, does it exceptionally well. Geelong over the years, we talk about Scarlett, and there's Harry Taylor as well. So those players have got that ability, and it's very hard to teach that because they're just very good at it. And but I think it's just said, Ben Hart's done a lot of work with the defenders. We're just starting to get a bit of continuity with the back six. You know, that Johnson's been out a lot of the time. Shorey, we've had to cover. Maxwell's been out, but they did exceptionally well the other night.
One of the things I love about Ben Reade is when he finds himself in the right position, he's such a good, strong mark, he'll then back himself to mark it. He doesn't fly when he shouldn't, but when he's got front position, I mean, attempting the mark's as good as a spoil because it's never going to go behind him, and I like that. I
thought he was instinctive. I just want to show, we all saw the big tackle, and we'll have a quick look at it here. I thought when he saw a play had to be made, he went. He went. And this is a huge tackle. Look at the score here. 25 points the Eagles lead to 9 against Collingwood. That was a tackle that had to be made. Now, let's have a look at behind the goals. You can just see here at the bottom of the screen, this is him here, middle of the ground versus opponent. A pair there, a pair there. So they're virtually one-on-one in the middle of the ground. They have a shot at goal coming up here. Collingwood, Cox has marked it, and they're on the counter-attack out to the left there. Look at him go here. He makes a decision to leave his man in a really dangerous spot at the back here to go and make the tackle. We paused it there, and you can have a look at the back here. You've got 1, 2, 3, and another 2 sliding back here, 4, 5. Eagles charge into the goal face. He doesn't make that tackle. That's a goal. 31 points to 9 down. Early on in that first quarter. That'd be a disaster for Collingwood, and I think that's the biggest win for me for the night.
Yeah, I think it just takes confidence in your teammates as well, and I think over the past month, Nathan has said we're starting to improve in a lot of areas that we have focused on. I think that's one area is that team defence, and it's been very good.
And what we also saw then is when he took off, Heath Shaw saw the decision that he made, and he was immediately freewheeling back to try and cover him should it come unstuck. So good communication between the back six.
Oh, you need to spend time together to understand who's going to go, trust your teammate, and certainly that's what he's done. It looks like he understands in those first few clips, understands what forwards want to do. He's played plenty of football at centre half-back. Now, when that block was put on from Kennedy, he knew exactly what was going on, so he peeled off at the right time to block Darling. So great work.
I thought the back six were the stars of the show for Collingwood.
Absolutely, and I just want to, on the back of that, show you one clip here that we saw. Ball comes out of their back 50. You can see Swan drives that down to the wing. Now, they were beaten on the wing here, outnumbered. The ball's always going to come back into their defensive end again, the Eagles forward 50. They're very clever here, the Eagles. Credit to them. They were a quality opponent, as you can imagine. There's Heath Shaw at the back here. He's the loose man. He's the spare. Pretty much the rest of the forward 53, Eagles folding back, and this has been the challenge, I think, for the Eagles. For the Pies in the past. Have they had the intent to get back these guys here and actually help out this back six? And I reckon that's been questionable at times, and we've pointed that out. We allow this to roll. And again, you can see quality use there against a quality team. But look at the back six now. Look at them work back and guard that space. And you can just see that Hill, even though he's got the ball here, he's got no options. Loose man there in Shaw. Reed coming back. Pendlebury sliding back in there. And again, I can't make out who that player is. But there's no real option there now. There's nowhere for him to go, Jace. That, to me, is the complete defensive outfit that you need. You need that in a final. You need to negate any options that Hill's got, and they did it perfectly.
They did. Now, look, he's going to kick to Cox, I think, was the tool there, and he's going to be outnumbered 1 against 3, 1 against 4. So that's exactly what Collingwood want. You want them to kick their outnumbered options, then you sweep it away.
And I think you'll see the 4 teams that play on the weekend do that, don't they? I mean, they're very good at supporting each other. And we talk about Fremantle and we spoke about last week about their defensive structures, but it's on the back of work rate. It's on the back of the mids getting back, it's on the forwards rolling up, etc., etc., and players being prepared to help their teammates.
I like this chat about Collingwood, King. You tell me some more, and I think we want to draw a bit more out of Rocket too.
Give you a little bit more, Rocket.
Talk about other teams, mate.
No, it's the Collingwood out.
The Hawks are to come, mate. Don't worry about
There's
that.
room for improvement, and I thought that your ball use forward of centre, and if it's like this on the weekend against Sydney, I think it'll be game over. There is room for improvement. You can see here, Cracker takes the mark. He's about to turn and come back. And we pause it there and we have a look here. And I think this is terrific. This is a genuine 2-on-2, if you like. That's Dawes coming back here to put a block on for Solo, who's about to get free. And we allow that to go. Andrew Cracker, a player with enormous composure, pause it there. Normally would hit that. And I think that's a credit to the block there. Great setup, great forward play, opportunity lost. No major issue, but opportunity lost. And that's what I think the Swans will be really looking for, that turnover ball. Same thing again. I thought their ability to defend was fantastic. Put pressure on straight away, try and force that turnover. We pause it there. They've got the turnover. Johnson now has options again. And I just thought that there was a real desire to get the ball in really deep. And they had options out. And I think that this is room for improvement. This is a positive as well as a negative at this stage. Went long to the square, nothing come of that one. We've got the next one here. You can just see Harry O charging through space here. Spare player here. Pretty much one-on-one forward of that, as you can see. If we just pause it there, he's got the ability to go wide here or through there and then get a really good, solid, pure inside 50 option there for the boys. They didn't take that. Swan was still good enough to mark this. So you've still got talent there. We know that talent is a given. You get a good shot at goal. There is congestion there, and this is more for looking forward than what's actually happened. OK, 3 players break through there. I think that's Blairy about to get the ball in charge and outnumber the Eagles on the counter-attack. Just keep your eye on Heath Shaw there, and this is back to your point before, Lynchy and Jace, what you really liked about Heath Shaw's game. He was the loose man, but he was prepared to go, prepared to get involved. Good blocking, gets himself through. Gee, if he could just square his vision out this way and get Heath Shaw running through there, that's a goal. And I think that's what, no doubt Heath would have been pointing that out at the breaks. Poor entry in the end and nothing really comes of it, but massive room, as we said, for improvement. This is the difference. Cracker, just that vision that he's got, that lateral use. He finds Wellingham on the wing and about to charge. This one didn't quite work, and Cloak breaking back hard. Good defending there by the Eagles, but you can just see, I think there's room for about another half a dozen goals to come from this sorts of play. Thomas, he breaks, he has the poise to find Cracker with that little short kick there, Lynchy. Same thing again, and we just sort of, Crack's trying to get this lead to come across here, and he's got vision for that lead only. You just see as we roll it there, and I guarantee Andrew Cracker will find, if we pause it there, Andrew Cracker will be able to find these players free in the coming weeks as he finds more touch and more composure with his game. We've got the last one here, Lynchy. So I think there's at least 4 or 5 goals improvement to come. Same thing again. This is the West Coast, so it happened on both sides of the equation. It was a great chase here from Daisy Thomas on Schofield as he charges in. Bang, he's got a free player here to use. Goes the dribbler on the ground. I know you love the dribbler.
Also got the option of a drop punt.
I know you love it. He doesn't kick the goal, and that was just such a big moment in the game. So that happens with both players. You can see there, Lynchy, on the behind the goals. Embley was all alone, and Freeney would have loved that one. That nice, easy one. But I think there's massive room for improvement with the Pies forward of centre.
I think you'll find that with all teams, and I think with the pressure of finals, there is a lot of perceived pressure as well. And I think the tackling, and on Saturday night's game was really hectic. It was really tough, and I think with that, if you get tackled a bit, obviously the next time it's perceived pressure and get the ball going forward.
That's what we see, obviously, and on the weekend in that game there was no key forwards getting hold of the ball, so there was a lot of targets missed going inside football, there wasn't a lot of space, a lot of pressure, and it was reliant on midfield goals, but we see the week before the key forwards were getting involved, so the tempo picked up. I thought it was the best pressure we've seen from the Magpies for 12 months. I mean, you go back...
A lot of that was in the middle of the ground too.
Absolutely, and I think that's where they become really attacking, is their defensive push-up, numbers at the contest, just caused the spillage, and that continued to happen throughout the game. I thought it was their best, the best part of the game on the night for Collingwood.
Yeah, probably we thought the Adelaide game this year, when we played in Adelaide, was very good, and the Essendon game on Anzac Day was very similar. And our indicators, as far as how we measure that, were all very similar numbers. So, but it was pleasing to be able to do that in the final. I think the Sydney game as well. Sorry, in Sydney was also so. That's probably equal with those. Maybe a little bit ahead because it's a final.
The one thing I did notice in terms of your midfield, we reckon that maybe they got the balance a little bit wrong through the course of the home and away season, attacking first and maybe defending second. One centre bounce I just want to show from the weekend. You can just see here Dane Swan versus Marston here. Now, Cox has generally had the hit out to advantage go his way through the course of the season. Jolly's doing a great job. As we roll that vision, I just think his mindset here is to defend first. See him commit all the way with Marston until he knows where that ball's going, then he breaks and does what he does best, and that's get his hands on the ball. But his first movement was to guard his opponent, and I thought that had been the subtle change. I'm not sure whether you'd spoken about that, and you don't have to comment on that, but it looked to me like there'd been a distinct change.
Well, that's what we saw from Dane Beams there as well. Really good step in front of Pritis, really just to block his run before. And I think there's been a lot of people looking at and scrutinising Dane's game and thinking he's probably too offensive out of the centre stoppages. But there, he took the front position, blocked first, and then reacted on the spread.
Yeah, I think they've probably been a bit harsh on Dane, to be honest. Because I think in any centre bounce, whichever team you've got, if you've got a ruckman you think it's going to get your hand to the ball, obviously you're going to have your hit zones and be proactive. And we thought Darren did a terrific night, had a terrific game, but at the same token, Cox and Nat Nui really are going to get their hand on the ball more than probably Darren's going to get his hand on. So I think you adjust to whatever team you're playing.
And depends on the state of the game. I mean, if you are controlling the midfield, you're more likely to roll the dice and get ahead of the footy. But if it's pretty tight and it's a final and they've kicked the first couple of goals, you're going to say, we might just play with a straight bat to start with.
Scoring from clearances is really tough and it poses many problems. But this guy, Scotty Pendlebury, in your midfield, he's amazing, isn't he? His spatial awareness is fantastic, and I just think that his composure in tight, and we just want to have another quick look at these. I mean, he just knows where the traffic is and how to manoeuvre and how to shape his body and contort to get himself clear. I think he's fantastic. Top 12 in the competition for clearances and top 5 for score involvements. This has been a feature of his game. He's been unbelievable. Scott Pendlebury is one of the elite clearance players in the competition, but it's his damage that we need to look at today. You can just see here, his ability to draw 2 players is amazing. We've just seen some clips where if he does draw the 2, he gives the ball to a teammate into space and they get a pure exit. Right here, right now, we have Lynch coming in to bump. Not sure why he's bumping, but he's also drawing Andrew Gaff's attention. Just have a look at his eyes. He's drawing him that way. He's selling him a story that he's going that way. By hand, you can see the movement there, making a handball. Gaff on the move already. He's opening a door out this way, left foot out. That's why his effectiveness going inside 50 is pure. 1 in every 3 entries is marked. Let's have a look.
Pendlebury through traffic, look at that spin, bit of hand candy, delivery to Swan was really good.
The traffic around him is very, very good. He's a classy player, isn't he? And he makes all the right decisions.
Yeah, someone said, I heard a media person say that the game seems to stand still whenever he gets the ball. And there's obviously a few players in competition can do that, but there's not many, isn't there? There's just a few that can, a handful that can do that, and he's got that ability.
Tony Leonard likened it to The Matrix, you know, the movie The Matrix, where he just stops and everyone else is going flat out. And it's true. I think that they see the game differently, don't they? That in slow motion, if you like.
He certainly does. What's his speed like? I mean, over 20 metres. Is he in the top portion, or
I must admit I haven't checked his speed, but he's quicker than he looks.
Yeah, I reckon he's deceptive.
He's like those. We see those sort of sportsmen in every sport. Whether it's Mark Waugh's got more time than anyone else, and Michael Jordan seems to go through a group of players, but he has that elite time rather than speed, but he just has so much time.
Darren Jarman was like that. He was a classic example.